Hi, my name is Micah Morgan, and I will be the instructor for CMPS 1023. I wanted to make this welcome video to just kind of give you an overview of the class, what to expect and how it'll work. And you can kind of put a face to the name since it's an online class. Sometimes it's, harder to, know the person or feel like you have, good interaction whenever you don't see them face to face. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see that I have the D2L course pulled up here. Everything will be posted in D2L. Everything that we do for this class will be in D2L. So you're definitely going to want to be able to sign in and have access to the class. Obviously you do, or you wouldn't be watching this video. But this is where like all of our work will be posted. There aren't any other platforms or anything that we will use for the class. So you can kind of see that, here on the home screen, and actually I'm going to switch my view to like student view. So my screen will look just like what you will see. So you can see here, in the main part, we have the course content and it's broken up by weeks. All of these little W's stand for weeks. So week 1, we're going to just talk about the course documents. And then we're going to talk about converting between different number bases. We're going to talk about binary, which is base 2, hexadecimal, which is base 16, and then decimal is base 10. That's the number base that you're already used to using. But that's our agenda for week 1. Another thing that you'll notice, here on the home screen is the calendar over here on the right-hand side. This calendar will show you the assignments and the due dates. And you can click on these. These can be like shortcuts that you can click on to take you straight to the quizzes. There are also links to the quizzes in the folders that they go to. So let's take a look at week 1. The first thing that I would recommend is read through the syllabus and take a look at the calendar and just sort of familiarize yourself with the course policies. After we take a look at that, there is a video tutorial that I had made previously. It is kind of long and it can be really difficult to sit down and watch a video. It's harder to pay good attention to a video than it is face-to-face, like in an in-person class. And I think it's because when you're in class, there can sometimes be like some interruptions. There are some breaks where people ask questions, or where, the instructor like asks you a question and you kind of do like some practice examples yourself. You don't really have that when you're watching a video. And so what I would recommend is maybe take a look at these notes, print them out if you're the kind of person that likes a paper copy, and then follow along as you go through the video. Pause it, try to do some examples, try to work out some of the questions, like if I post an example, pause the video and try to work it out, and then play the video and see if you got it right. If you can, anything you can do to be a little more hands-on or a little more interactive is going to make it much easier for you to get through that lesson and be able to pay attention and stay engaged. There will be quizzes over the number-based conversions. They are not due until next week. And so they are in like the week 2 folder. So like next week, we'll kind of start by taking those quizzes. They are available now. So if you watch the video and you feel good about it, or if you already know how number-based conversions work, maybe you have seen that previously, you might want to just go ahead and take the quizzes, watch the video, take the quizzes while it's fresh on your mind, but those are not due until next week. The main thing I want to go through in this video is looking at these course documents. So I'm going to kind of just briefly go through the syllabus and the calendar. So my name is Micah Morgan. I'm an instructor here at MSU. I've been here about a year and a half in the computer science department. I love it. I've really enjoyed working here. If you would ever like to come in person, you absolutely can. I have in-person office hours where if you wanted to kind of come in and get some help like face-to-face, you could do that. I am also going to have an online office hour, and very specifically for my online students. So this time is really it's really meant to be sort of dedicated to you guys. So if you would like to join, I can have like a Zoom link and we'll post it, and we could either sometimes we might want to meet like one-on-one if you have questions that you kind of don't want to ask in front of other people, or sometimes I might just post a Zoom link where it's just like, I'm there for the hour, I'm available, anyone can hop in and we can sort of go through some examples together, almost like a class. But you're not required to attend that because this is an asynchronous course, which means we do not have like set dates and times that you have to get on and meet. There is not a textbook for the class. We will have 3 exams. The exams do require lockdown browser. And I know that some people don't like to have that installed on their personal computers because it can, some of the requirements that it has or some of the things that it asks you to give permission to, not everyone is comfortable with. So if you don't really want that on your personal device, that's not a problem. Lockdown browser is installed in the campus computers, like here at MSU. So you could always, go on campus and take your test that way, and then you wouldn't have to worry about, not wanting that on your own computer. They do require a webcam, and then they'll be available for like one day. So like the day that we take the test, it will become available at like 5 a.m. that morning. It'll be due at 11:59 p.m. that night. So you can take the test at any time throughout that 1 day window, but tests have to be taken, on that day. So if you go through the calendar and you realize that there is an exam on a day that you will have a scheduling conflict, please just let me know. Like email me, let me know in advance. I would be happy to work with you. We can arrange for something else. Don't wait until like a week after the test and then email me and be like, oh, I had blah, blah, blah going on. Much better to reach out in advance and try to get something set up. There is no final exam in the class. Instead, we have a project. There's a major project. We'll spend almost the last month of the class working on the project. And then when it's, comes to the end of the class time, you will present what you did for your project. And then you will watch videos of other students' presentations and projects. And that grade, that 15% of your grade for the final project, is in lieu of taking a final exam for that. We have some assignments, some quizzes, homeworks, a couple of discussion board postings. Those are worth 20%. We do programming in this class. So the class is digital culture, and I sort of breezed right by the description up here, but we will talk about some different ways that technology is used, in present times, and some of the impacts of technology on our culture and worldwide culture. But then we will also focus on we'll spend about a month talking about programming and sort of how programming works. And we will use the Python language for that. So we'll spend quite a bit of time learning the basics of Python, and you will write 4 programs in the Python programming language. And Python is a pretty big part of exam 1 and exam 2. So you're definitely going to want to watch those lecture videos, come into office hours if you have questions or would like help. There is also there's computer science tutoring in Bolin 119. You could go in there. They would be happy to help you with your assignments. And there is also computer science tutoring in the task center in the library. So those would all be fantastic resources if you feel like you need a little bit more hands-on help writing your programming assignments, especially since this is an online class and it might be more difficult to ask questions or get help. Please, please, please always reach out to me, email me. I would be very happy to meet with you. We could meet online, we could meet in person, but I would love to help you out if you're feeling overwhelmed, with some of our assignments. We will have 3 exams. They are worth 15 points each, so that is worth 45% of your grade. I will post grades in D2L. I do round 0.5s up, but then that is the cutoff. There has to be a cutoff somewhere. So an 89.5 is an A, but like an 88.9 is not. Okay. The way you get counted for attendance in this class is just by logging into D2L, by completing assignments, by turning things in, by participating in discussion boards. That's how you get counted present in an online class. So please be aware that I can see in D2L, I can see when you log in. I can see when you click on things and access them. I can see when you took a quiz, when you open something up. So I am able to see if someone is participating in the class. So if you miss an assignment and then you email me and you're like, oh, I've been working on this, but then I look in D2L and you haven't logged in 3 weeks, I will know. I will know that D2L does record it. So please know that. And that's kind of how you would participate would be by getting on, watching lecture videos, turning in your work, things like that. It is an online class. You are expected to have access to the internet and to be able to do work, online and in a computer. So if you ever have any sort of technical difficulties, know that there are labs available on campus. We have them in Bolin, for computer science students. They're in the library, they're, in the Dillard building. There are computer labs all over campus. There's also the Academic Success Center, which you can go to and have access to computers there. And I already mentioned this one, but there are tutors available both in Bolin 119 and also in the library and the task center. I will accept assignments, programs up to 1 week late. So you might see in D2L that something will have a due date and then it will have an availability end date. And what that means is that it's due on the day that it's due, but if you miss it, you can turn it in afterwards for a late penalty. There is a late penalty if you turn it in after the deadline, but I will still accept it for up to 1 week. If you're over 1 week past the deadline, I don't accept work anymore. It'll go in as a 0, and we've just got to move on because you need to kind of stay on top of stuff so you don't get too far behind. Cheating is always a big deal in, college courses. It's always an issue. Please be aware that the rules are, if you get caught cheating, the first time you get a 0, it is non-replaceable. You cannot do anything to make it up or change it. That 0 goes in and it stays in. And then if you get caught cheating a second time, you get just immediately dropped from the class. It'll go in as an F. And that's not a situation that you want to be in. It's not a situation I want to be in. I do turn in and report cheating that I see. So please just avoid that. And then we don't have to mess with it. We don't have to worry about it. Because I would much rather just not mess with it. It would be great if we did not have to mess with it. The rest of this I think is pretty standard. I do have lecture videos posted online, but that does not mean that you have permission to use those videos in any way other than watching them yourself. So you couldn't, post my videos somewhere online or use them for any other purpose beyond just your own education. We have a calendar in here. The calendar can be used to just kind of give you an estimate of what we will be doing and deadlines. You can kind of see week 1, go through the syllabus in the calendar, and then we're going to talk about number-based conversion. So you could go ahead and watch that lecture video this week. It's 1 hour. Next week, we're going to be talking about the history of computing. These are linked. There are also links in the week 2 folder. There are some handouts in the week 2 folder. If you go through those handouts while you're watching the videos and try to fill them in, number 1, it'll kind of help you pay attention because the videos are long and a bit boring. And number 2, it'll help you make sure that you're paying good attention to the most relevant and important parts, because you will take a quiz over the history of computing after you finish watching the video. That quiz is due next week. And then we will be talking about Python. We'll spend about a month going through Python, I guess maybe a little bit over a month. And so we'll be talking about how you can set up code, all of just like the basics of it. You will be writing programs, you will be taking quizzes, you will be taking exams, very Python heavy here at the beginning of class, which is good because you'll have a great, exposure to programming right at the front. And then we will leave for spring break. And when we come back after spring break, we'll talk a little bit more about the impact of technology on, on culture, on modern society. We'll be talking about topics such as social media, big data, security, and then when you choose your presentation topic, and we'll talk about that more as we get closer to it, you will choose a topic on how technology has impacted one particular part of modern culture. And then you will make some slides. You'll research it. You'll make some slides over it. And then you will make a video presenting your topic. And we will post that video online. And then you will watch other students in the class's video. So we'll have about a month here where we really focus on things that are current to today. And those topics are kind of different every semester because it's going to depend on what is interesting to you, to the current students, and also what is relevant to today. And again, we do not have a final exam because your presentation will count. So I think that's really kind of everything that I wanted to go through. The layout of the class is broken up by weeks. You just sort of go into each folder each week. Assignments are going to be due Thursdays at midnight. So if you maybe put a reminder in your calendar or something, it can be easy to forget about, an online class. I will try to make some reminders in D2L so it'll kind of pop up and give you like a little notification, a little alert about it. But you could also maybe put some reminders to yourself and just kind of remember Thursdays. Thursdays are the day that you're going to have stuff due in this class. And like these quizzes that we're taking here, this looks like a whole lot, but really what it's saying is the quiz is due and you will immediately lose availability to it. So make sure you take the quiz by the deadline. So this is really two different reminders for one assignment. So, these quizzes that are due or these programs that are due are going to be based off of lecture videos that you will have wanted to have watched earlier so that you have time to complete the assignment, take the quiz, stuff like that. And they'll be due Thursdays at 11:59. If you have any questions, please email me, or you could come to, my online Zoom meeting next Tuesday. Watch the number-based conversion video. That's our topic for this week. And then if you feel good about it, if you feel like you understood it okay, you could go ahead and take those quizzes, or you could wait because those aren't due until next. I hope that you all have a fantastic semester. I'm excited about this semester. I think it's going to go really well. And I hope to hear from you guys if there's anything else that you need from me. So have a good day. Thank you.